Dozens of supporters, including Gilad Shalit's parents, protested outside the Prime Minister's office in Jerusalem to mark the soldier's 25th birthday. It is the 6th birthday Gilad Shalit has marked since he was taken captive in June 2006 and forced to Gaza, where he has been held ever since. Netanyahu, a birthday present for Gilad, his life back, a sign held by Shalit's mother, Aviva, said. Netanyahu, you don't have a mandate to kill Gilad, a sign held by his father, Noam, read. Shalit's grandfather, Tzvi, said that since Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was elected, the situation has worsened. He accused the government of not doing enough to free Gilad. Last month, Hamas said progress had been made on talks to bring about the soldier's release, but said Egyptian-mediated talks in Cairo had failed to bring about any real breakthrough. The United States and Israel are concerned that terrorists may seize government-stockpiled non-conventional weapons in Syria, including mustard gas and sarin gas, a report says. Israel's ambassador Michael Oren told the Wall Street Journal Saturday Israel is concerned over the status of Syria's weapons of mass destruction as the regime falters in dealing with the wave of anti-government protests. A CIA report written in 2009 stated Syria had a chemical weapons program for many years and has a stockpile that can be delivered by aircraft, ballistic missiles and artillery rockets. Western intelligence officials were quoted last month saying since the wave of unrest erupted in Syria in March, Damascus increased shipments of advanced missiles and other weaponry to Hezbollah in Lebanon. Hamas in Gaza has also kept close ties with Syria, possibly serving as a possible destination for weapons President Bashar Assad may want to keep out of the hands of his opponents, the newspaper said. The Palestinian Authority refuses to recognize Israel as a Jewish state, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said, adding he will continue with the statehood bid. Don't order us to recognize a Jewish state, we won't accept it, Abbas told Palestinian officials in Ramallah in response to international demands that he forego the statehood bid and recognize Israel. The statehood bid in the United Nations next month is not aimed at isolating Israel or causing conflict with the United States, he said. Israel's Foreign Minister Avigdor Lieberman blasted Abbas's statements and said they reveal the true nature of the September motion. A Palestinian state comes in place of a Jewish state, he said. The goal of the Palestinians is to obtain recognition of a Palestinian state with full sovereignty on the territories occupied since 1967 and obtain full membership in the United Nations, Abbas said. Israel should not rush to amend the peace treaty with Egypt, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said. The Israeli Prime Minister was referring to Egypt's request to increase its military presence in the Sinai Peninsula due to the worsening security situation there. If we're going to alter the peace treaty with Egypt, and I don't think it's something we need to rush into, it must be approved by the cabinet, Netanyahu said Sunday. Israel must take care of security, terror problems in particular, and invest more resources in tackling obstacles, Netanyahu said. He added that Jerusalem is in contact with the Egyptian government concerning the situation. Defense Minister Ehud Barak said Saturday Israel was not planning to approve Egypt's request to deploy additional troops in Sinai, despite media reports claiming otherwise. In recent days, Egyptian officials have demanded to boost their presence in the Sinai in an effort to improve security and prevent further infiltrations into Israel. Egypt and Israel signed the peace treaty in Washington in March 1979. The peace treaty limits the number of Egyptian military forces permitted into the Sinai Peninsula and requires approval from Israel concerning changes. Regular flights between Tel Aviv and New York were cancelled over the weekend as 1 million people were ordered to evacuate their homes along America's eastern seaboard and New York City in preparation for Hurricane Irene. Tens of thousands of people are expected to be affected over the cancellation of flights between Israel and the US, particularly as this week is the last week of summer vacation. Israeli officials said the US was the main destination for flights to and from Israel during the summer. Statistics released by the Israel Aviation Authority said some 145,900 people flew to and from the United States last month, accounting for over 10% of all international passenger traffic at Israel's Ben Gurion International Airport.